What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another WNBA video. We have ourselves a 5-game slate here for Tuesday, September 9th. Now, if you're new to the channel, typically I would break down each of those games. We talk about which way that I was leaning as far as the points on the spread. We also go over player props that I found in those games that I like. But I'm going to do things a little bit differently here in this video and possibly for the rest of the videos this week as well. First of all, I'm extremely busy outside of YouTube, outside of my full-time job, outside of YouTube, and just in my personal life in general, man. Just got so much going on. So not a lot of time for one. And for two, looking over the slate, man, for the rest of the regular season, that takes us through Thursday. I really only see one game overall over these next 3 games or over these next 3 days of games where I really find any kind of value on the side. So, if anything comes up between then and now, we'll definitely, we'll do a full length video like we normally do. We'll break those down, but I'm just not really seeing anything like I said. So we're gonna go over my favorite plays on the day for this 5-game slate. I found 4 plays that I like. Gonna be running all 4 of those, so we're gonna break those down instead of breaking down each of the games. Before we do that, though, we're gonna jump over there to the Guy Boston Sports website. We need to recap the plays that we put in from Sunday. Let's see what we put in then and how that ended up going down. And on Sunday, we put 3 plays in. We go 2-1 on the day. We took the Fever and the Mystics, a total over 160.5. They land at 159, so we don't hit on that one. We took Paige Beckers over 16.5 points, and she does cash for us. And then we took Chelsea Gray over 16.5 points and assist, and she hits for us as well. So like I said, 2-1 overall. So we've been playing things light, but we have been playing things pretty well, man. Our 5th profitable day in a row. Let's see if we can carry that into this video here as well, guys. Let's go ahead and jump over to Outlier. I want to check out our first play over there. First play I'm going to be looking at, it's going to be in that Washington Mystics New York Liberty game, tipping off at 7 p.m. I'm looking at Shakira Austin of the Mystics for points under 11.5. We get that at minus 119 over there at no vig right now. Now, in her last 5 games, guys, you can see she's coming up underneath of this mark at a 80% rate, only going over 1 time against the Mercury there in a pretty close battled game, right? They only lost that one by 6 points, but yeah, like I said, going underneath that mark in 4 of her last 5, averaging 10 points in those games. And if you scroll on down here and look, she's only shooting 36% from the field in that time. If we look at her head-to-head against the Liberty as well, she's really struggled, especially this season, right? She did go up and over that mark just barely last season, right? But then looking at the 3 games that they've played against the Liberty this year, 0 points, 9, and only 7. Now this one, I don't think that she played. I think that's the game that she only played 12.5 minutes. She was ejected in that one pretty early, I believe. But full 22 minutes here in these games, pretty close to her average on the season, which sits around 22 minutes exactly there, right? You look at her though in those games. Let's go back to head to head. Yeah, like I said, 9 points there, 7 points here, and shooting only 33% over her last 5. 27% in those last 2, 3 for 11 in each of those games. If we scroll on up and look at this insight from Outlier, we can see she's failed to exceed this mark in 5 of her last 6 games on the road, averaging only 8 points per game in those last 6 road games, shooting only 33% from the field in those games, and not getting to the line a ton either, right? Averaging only 2 attempts, shooting 50% in those games. Then the Liberty, they're also giving up the second fewest points in the paint over their last 5 games as well. So I like this one here to lead us off. Shakira Austin under 11.5 points. Like I said, over there, minus 119 over there at no vig. And I also like looking in this game at the Washington Mystics, their team total under 73.5. Now, we look at them in their last 5 games, right? They've gone underneath that mark 4 out of the 5 times. That one game that they went over was against the Los Angeles Sparks, who aren't stopping anybody, right? That defense has just been horrid all season, and especially as of late as well. Head to head, they've gone under in 2 of the 3 this season, 3 of the 4 dating back to last year, or 3 of their last 4 dating back to last year, right? Going just over that mark at 78 in the one game this year that they did go over. Washington just 8th for pace in their last 5. New York sitting at dead last. And I think the Mystics really struggle here with the Liberty at full strength. We look over here at the expected lineup, right? No injuries reported there for the New York Liberty. Sabrina Ionescu is also back. She's been out with that toe injury. So, like I said, just fully healthy over there on the New York Liberty side. And we already know, they've had some troubles. The Washington, they've had trouble with New York already this season, 89-63 in that last meeting. 86-78, a little bit closer here, right? 85-63, another blowout loss there. So, yeah, like I said, Liberty, they're only giving up the second fewest points per game over their last 5 as well, only 72 points per game. If we scroll on down here, look at this as well. These are, points versus the New York Liberty in their recent games. If teams have gone up and over or under that mark, and we can see all these green check marks means that these teams have gone underneath their projected total as well against the New York Liberty. So a lot more green than red down here, just what we like to see. So this is going to be my second play. The Washington Mystics under 73.5 for their team total. That's sitting at minus 120 over there at Hard Rock. Be looking at the Sparks and the Mercury game tipping off at 10 p.m. I'm looking at Derek Hamby of the Sparks for points, rebounds, and assists over 28.5. Get that at minus 125 over there at Bet365. If we look at her on the year, she's sitting this at a 50% rate, right? 21 out of the 42 games that she's played, averaging 29.55 PRA, shooting at 58% from the field over the course of the season. Definitely having a great year, right? Derek Hamby has been on one for the Sparks, man. If you look at her in her last five, hitting this at an 80% rate, averaging 34.2 PRA, and we're looking at her to just get 29, so well above that mark, right? We can push it back further for more consistency, 32.1 over her last 10. 7 of the last 10 games she has gone up over this mark. And then even in her last 20, we're still sitting at, 60%. 12 out of those 20 games, averaging 30.8 PRA, right? Now, if we look at this insight from Outlier as well, she has exceeded this mark in 5 straight games on the road, averaging 36.6 points, rebounds, and assists. That's 100% of those games and crushing that number, right? 36.6. And like I said, we just need her to hit 29. So I like this look a lot for Derek Hamby. And head to head, obviously she's had some success against Phoenix in the past. Struggled a little bit this year, so there is a concern there, right? 2 of the 3 games she has gone under, but she did crush them in that last game, 25 points on 8 rebounds as well, shooting 75% from the field in that game. And she shot the ball well in these prior 2 games as well, 50% and 46% in the first meeting with Phoenix at the beginning of the year. And that's the thing, too. Both these games were at the very beginning of the season. Sparks just really weren't clicking at all to begin the season, and they've been playing a lot better offensively as a unit as the season has wound down. Then we're going to be looking at Jackie Young for our fourth and final play, looking at her of the Aces, looking at that Sky and Aces game at 10 p.m. I'm looking at her PRA over 25.5, sitting at minus 125 over there at DraftKings. Looking at her on the season, she's also hit at a 50% rate, 21 of her 42 games. And over her last 5 games, we can see that Jackie Young has been crushing it, man. 4 straight games she's gone over this mark, hitting at an 80% rate, 29.6 PRA average. We can see that she's been shooting the ball really well, 57% from the field, 52% from three-point land. And then head-to-head as well, we can see that she's gone over this mark in 4 of her last 6 games against the Chicago Sky, including the 2 this season, for 32 PRA and 34 PRA in these last 2 games. Both of those recent, right? This one coming at the end of August and this one just a few days ago on the 7th of September. So yeah, just crushing them this year specifically, and then also, like I said, in 4 of the last 6 overall, averaging 33 PRA in these 2 games against them this season. We need her to hit at 26, so I definitely like that there. And shooting the ball well against the Sky as well, 55% from the field, 44% from deep. You look at these 2 games against them this season, 3 for 7 from deep for 43%, 4 for 6 in that first meeting for 67%. So definitely having some success against this Chicago Sky team. Then when we scroll up and look at this insight from Outlier, we can see that she has exceeded this mark in 5 of her last 6 games when playing against teams sitting in the bottom 5 for assists allowed, averaging 31.3 PRA in those games, 83% hit rate. And then in those games, shooting the ball really well as well, man. 58% from the field, 46% from 3. So this just really looks like a good matchup for her for the 3rd time this season. So yeah, I like this one for Jackie Young, over 25.5 PRA, minus 125 over there at DraftKings. And that is going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Hope you found the content helpful and useful. And if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button on your way out and hit subscribe if you have not already. And that is going to wrap us up, man. Hope you guys all cash out and have a great Tuesday. And I'll see you back tomorrow for the next one.